Ever accidentally overdraft from, like, forgetting about a subscription?
Oof, the worst.
Yeah, we've all been there. But what if there's a way to avoid that? It's all thanks to open banking. Imagine, like, tracking all your finances in one spot, comparing offers, even getting better deals that's open banking.
It's really opened up the possibilities for consumers, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Third-party apps getting access, with permission, of course, leads to so much more innovation and choice. It's kind of like, finally, a financial system that works for you, not against you, you know?
Okay, but get this. Open banking. Just the start. Get ready for PSD3.
The next big thing.
Exactly. Think PSD2 was the first smartphone, right? Well, PSD3, that's the latest model, all the features we didn't even know we needed.
Love that analogy. PSD3 is basically the EU updating its payment services directive, keeping up with, well, everything that's changing in finance so fast. And the fascinating part is this could have a global impact, even if you're not in the EU.
Whoa, hold up. How can a European law affect me way over here?
Fair question. See, PSD3 goes beyond just open banking. This is open finance we're talking, giving you control, access to way more, like insurance, investments, the whole shebang. Imagine comparing insurance policies or finding the best investments all in one place. It's about making informed money decisions wherever you are in the world.
Okay, that's a game changer. So how does PSD3 pull this off? This Wealth Radar blog post talked about three things: geographic scope, functional scope, and consumer protection. Let's break it down, starting with geographic scope. What's that even mean? Should I care?
Okay, so picture this. PSD2, mostly Europe, right? PSD3, this is going global. Even outside the EU, you're going to see the impact. Companies, they're going to have to comply, even if they're international.
So like a ripple effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not just about companies in the EU, it's any company wanting to do business in that market. And that's a lot of companies. They'll be adapting, changing how they handle your financial data, providing services. Global impact.
Wow, yeah, that's a big deal. Let's talk functional scope. What's in it for me, the average consumer? Just banks? Or is this about other financial stuff too? So we were talking about PSD3 expanding the scope of open banking to other financial services. What does that actually look like for me in my day-to-day life? What kind of services are we talking about here?
So picture this. It's not just about your bank accounts and your payments anymore. We're talking about a whole world of financial products and services. Insurance.
Yep.
Pensions. You got it.
Right.
Even investments, which, by the way, weren't fully covered under PSD2. This means, potentially, you have more control over a much wider range of your financial data. Imagine that. More informed financial decisions.
Okay, that makes sense. More control and access sounds fantastic and all, but what about consumer protection? Doesn't more access also mean more risk?
You're absolutely right. More access, more responsibility. And PSD3 gets that. It's addressing it head on. Stricter security requirements for accessing your data. More transparency on how that data is used, and better ways to resolve disputes. The goal. A more secure, trustworthy, open finance world. Ideally, more access for you with more security and transparency baked right in.
Okay, so it's not just about opening everything up, but doing it in a way that protects me, the user, every step of the way. That makes me feel a bit better. Speaking of new and potentially confusing things, this Wealth Radar blog post mentioned something called embedded finance. What is that? How does it tie into all of this?
Embedded finance.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking, okay, imagine a world where you can manage your money, right? But directly within the other apps and platforms you're already using every day. Think about it. Instead of jumping between your banking app, your investing app, your insurance portal, you could potentially do it all within, say, your favorite social media app or your go-to travel booking site.
Wait, hold on. That sounds incredibly convenient and also kind of terrifying. Like, I love the idea of streamlining, but handing over even more of my financial data to my social media app, I don't know about that.
$1 million question, right? Convenience versus control. But that's exactly where PSP3 comes in. It's all about creating that regulatory framework for embedded finance. It's making sure those integrations are secure, they're transparent, and ultimately, they're actually in the best interest of you, the consumer.
So it's like setting some ground rules before things get too far ahead of themselves.
Precisely. PSD3 is laying the groundwork, setting the stage for a future where open finance can really take off, but responsibly. Finding that sweet spot where innovation and consumer protection work together.
Okay, this is a lot to process. What's the main takeaway for our listeners? What can they do right now to prepare for all of this? So are we headed towards some kind of financial future, like embedded into everything we do online? It's exciting, but kind of overwhelming, right?
Oh, absolutely, a huge shift. Like anything new, especially in tech, there can be good sides and bad sides. And the good news is PSD3 is trying to get ahead of some of those challenges,
Hmm.
especially about data privacy, keeping things secure. But it's on us, too, all of us, to stay in the loop to make sure this financial system, it works for everyone, not just the big players.
Totally. Can't just sit back and let it happen. We've got to understand it to shape it. Where do we even begin?
Honestly, just knowing about it is the first step, which we're doing right now. Resources like that Wealth Reader blog, super helpful. They cut through all the confusing stuff and break it down, make it easy to understand.
Right. No need to be a financial guru overnight. Just stay curious, ask those questions.
Exactly. The more we get it, the better we can navigate it all, stand up for ourselves, for what's best for our own money. Because at the end of the day, that's what PSD3 is about, giving you, the consumer, the control.
This whole thing has been eye-opening, I'll tell you that. Embedded finance, the future of open banking, a lot to think about. Big thanks to Wealth Reader for that blog post and to you out there listening for diving into this with us. Until next time, remember knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your hard-earned cash.